Good. How are you? Hi.
Good, good.
Awesome. Okay, let me sit this down. Okay. First off, I just want to say real quick, thank you so much for doing this. This is an absolute honor and a pleasure to have you on. I've been wanting to speak to you since 2018, and this is a long time coming, so I'm so glad I'm getting to do this. Thank you for continuing to put out music and just never stopping because your work has helped me, helps a lot of people. So just thank you so much. I just wanted to tell you that real quick. So thank you.
Thank you so much. It's really, really kind of you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So to the people in the chat who don't know who you are, what can you tell them about what you do?
My name is Ryan Shuck, and I'm a musician and an entrepreneur, and I founded a band called Orgy 20 years ago, and we did pretty well. We sold millions of albums and did a lot of pretty big stuff and had some, top 10 hits and all that kind of good stuff. My first work ever was with Jonathan Davis of Korn. It was my first band that I ever played in. Was not Korn, but was Jonathan and I, and actually Dave Drew from Adema. So it's really interesting that I'm back with Dave again in Adema, which is really cool. It's actually a bunch of old friends. So Blind was written in that band, and so that was kind of my first intro to like success in music, and my first platinum record and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And then Korn turned back around and signed my band Orgy, and we did really, really well. And that turned into meeting Chester Bennington before Linkin Park was ever Linkin Park, and we became best friends and had an incredible relationship. And later on, when I founded Juilen K, Chester was a huge part of Juilen K, and a huge part of kind of getting me to be the lead singer and not just one of the singers in the band and one of the songwriters. He was an instrumental part of me becoming who I am now, and he was a big part of Juilen K, so much so that he tried to join Juilen K, and we said, well, no, why don't we create a band for you? But it's basically Juilen K with him singing, and that became Dead by Sunrise, and that's my thing. So that's what I've been doing for the last 20 years. And I also own 5 restaurants in Orange County.
Oh wow!
And that's another thing that I do. And we're struggling to kind of keep our head above water with the whole COVID thing, but
yeah,
we're alive. I mean, I don't know how long it'll last, but we're alive. So
that's awesome. Yeah. Okay, great. So how long have you played guitar? Like, why'd you pick guitar?
I probably picked it because it just, to me, seemed like the thing that I would understand and that I would get. And I liked all the guitar players. I liked everyone from The Cure and Robert Smith's playing to Metallica and Slayer and all that kind of stuff. Really was the stuff that influenced me. I mean, I think you put Metallica, Slayer, and like heavy metal with New Order, Depeche Mode, and The Cure, you get Orgy. And that's kind of my influences and kind of what I gravitated towards. I think also guitars were affordable, so I could work at McDonald's when I was a kid, for 9 months and save up enough money to get a $120 guitar. I grew up without a lot of money, and that's just what I could do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I completely understand what you mean. I mean, I just bought a guitar. It's in the back over there. It's really cheap, so yeah, I was gonna get drums, but my mother said absolutely not. So we just went straight to guitar. So, hi.
It's my nephew. We're going camping together.
Oh yeah, you told me. That's awesome. So I'm not gonna take up too much of your time because I know you guys are going there.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
What do you love about playing?
Well, it's a love-hate relationship in some ways because it's really hard to create music that people love. And it, even yesterday working with Adema all day, I really, really can't stress how hard it is to put the shoes on of being the lead singer and songwriter and all this kind of stuff, and having to make sure that you come up with these melodies and these lyrics that people are going to gravitate towards and love. And, it's 8, 9 solid hours a day, singing and banging your head against the wall, trying to come up with something that people care about.
Right.
And once you actually do that and people gravitate toward it and they love it, then it's really, really amazing. But there's a whole lot of hard work there's a whole lot of hi Chester B fan, and there's a whole lot of pain
Yeah.
and struggle to get there. But once you get there, it's really, really cool. But I'm in that stage right now where everything's really, really hard. It's
Yeah.
really, really difficult to do. I'm insecure about whether or not I'm going to be able to do it. You know,
Right.
all
Yeah.
that stuff is part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely. I'm writing my own music right now too, so I completely understand. It's really
Yeah.
hard to, for me at least, it's hard to like write down what I mean. I don't know how to explain it. It's hard for me to like
Mm-hmm.
get lyrics down correctly, like the way I
It is
really
hard.
want it. So I completely understand where you're coming from. So, what are other genres of music that you like, or that have inspired you?
I mean, I come very, very much from electronic music and
Hmm.
Depeche Mode and you know, stuff like that. And then obviously, like I said, the heavier music was a huge influence on me. But right now, I mean, I really listen to a lot of electronic, industrial, a lot of goth, a lot of independent stuff. My playlist that I shared to our Patreon subscribers. We do a lot of stuff like that. We share our private playlists. We share outtakes of photo shoots. We do live events that's just for our patrons. Um, it, you know, and if you are a patron, you'll get like a 400 song playlist that I created on Spotify. People will really see behind the curtain of what I'm actually listening to and what I'm
Right.
actually, you know, into. So it's pretty cool.
That's really dope. I thought you were gonna say like, oh, I love gospel or like
Yeah,
stuff like
no,
that. Uh,
no. I mean, I don't mind gospel. I guess I don't really listen to it though.
yeah, no, I completely understand. If you weren't doing rock or like playing in a band, what could you see yourself doing?
Um, I would definitely be a creative. I mean, I do a lot of the things that I think I would be doing. I mean, I am a designer, and a lot of my design skill gets put to use in the restaurants and our studios and all the different kinds of things that I design and make into commercial businesses, including our sets, including our videos. So also. Um, I mean, business in general just seems to be something that I've had a lot of luck with and success with. So I'd probably be a creative, entrepreneurial, I guess like a lifestyle entrepreneur, you know, design, clothing, um, um, I don't know, lifestyle
Right. Okay.
types of stuff. Yeah, it's just I've been able to turn it into money and do things that people want to do or create things that people want to be part of.
Right. That's really cool. Um, what was your first band? You said Orgy was your first band, right?
No, Sex Art was my first band.
Oh, okay. What happened with that?
Jonathan joined Korn, and Dave ended up becoming Adema, and I became Orgy.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. How long have you been playing music? Like, how were you first introduced to it?
Been playing music since high school, like mid high school. I was introduced to it mainly from a couple of friends that I had in high school, who I ended up playing with for a little while. But I had a friend named Dennis Shin who could play drums, and we were locked out of the gym during PE, and he did the drum beat to a Metallica song on the door, like, and I was like, "How can you do that?" And he goes, "Well, you can just learn how to do it." And it kind of hit me that if I could put my fingers in the same place as these famous musicians, I
Right.
could sound like them. And once I realized that I could do it, then I went and did it. I immediately started writing music, and I got a guitar, you know, inexpensive guitar, and started creating those sounds. And then I became obsessed with it. You know, so that was about 30 years ago. You know, I was like 16
Wow.
or
That's
15.
dang. That is super cool. My experience with music isn't as cool as yours, but I'm getting there. Um, what made you want to? So you wanted to do? I was gonna ask, what made you want to do this professionally? What made you
I
realize
didn't.
is that?
I didn't. I never thought this would become my job. I was a hairdresser.
Oh
So
wow.
I
Okay.
never knew that. I didn't know you could make money from being in a band. I didn't know. None of that was real to me. I grew up in a small town. I didn't grow up with money.
Mhm.
I did hair as a job, as a creative job, as a creative professional.
Mhm.
And I knew the Beatles and the Rolling Stones made money and Metallica made money, but I didn't know of anyone on earth that I knew of that made money doing music, that they could do it for a living. It wasn't until Korn broke, and even being a one of the writers of Blind and Daddy, I didn't equate that with money. But then it sold millions of albums and I started getting checks. And I was like, oh fuck. Like oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Um, but yeah. But I didn't realize that you could make money doing it. And then it became a lot more real. And the guys in Korn were telling me, like, you're actually pretty good at this. Like, why don't you keep playing music? And of course I did play in bands at night and I did hair during the day. And I used hair as a way that I could buy equipment and all that kind of stuff. And I was a very successful hairdresser. So, yeah, there it is back there. Oh, come on. It's nuts. But yeah, so once Korn became a phenomenon, and I started actually realizing that the stuff that I could do, people would actually pay money to see. It definitely was another example of me seeing someone play guitar and it sounded like on TV. Once I realized you could just do that, then I decided I would do it. And so at one point, after we had started entertaining a few different record deals and what became Orgy, Korn gave us an offer we couldn't refuse. And that was opening for them on Family Values and giving us a record deal. And so we were like, okay, well, that's a no-brainer. And we did it. And Orgy was born.
That is so awesome. That's a dope story to have. You said you helped write Daddy. I know that's one of Jonathan's most personal songs, like very dark. So, how involved were you with it? Because I didn't know you were like so involved with Korn like that, or like you
Well, I
knew
wasn't.
Jonathan.
I wasn't. Well, yeah, Jonathan and I were in our first band together, so it's not. I wasn't sitting in the room with Korn. Jonathan, those songs were written in Sex Art.
Oh, okay.
So we wrote those songs then, and then Korn ended up playing them. So then you become a writer and an owner of those songs because you had, been created those in your band, right?
Right. Yeah.
So Daddy less. I mean, it's very, very much a Jonathan song. Blind much more.
Okay. Cool. So how would you describe your time during Dead by Sunrise?
It was awesome. It was a really tough time for me because I was going through a super, super major breakup.
Oh.
But and Chester had just gotten sober, so it was a tricky situation, but it was great. I mean, it was like a big camping trip with a couple of best friends, traveling the world together. And Linkin Park was super, super cool in that they let us play in the middle of their set all around the world. And they totally helped us out. So it was a pretty incredible experience. To follow those guys around the world for a year was unreal. Really cool.
So why did Dead by Sunrise stop? Why did you guys stop making music?
We didn't. Chester's in Linkin Park, so that's always been the deal. So when Linkin Park does Linkin Park sing, he has to do Linkin Park. So we have an opening to do Dead by Sunrise, and then Linkin Park is back from doing their kind of like their break, and then you have to do Linkin Park again. I also have to do Juilen K.
Right.
So we can't just do it nonstop. And unfortunately, everyone knows why we weren't able to come back and do another album.
Right. Okay. Did you have like stuff lined up just in case you guys were ever gonna make another album?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How involved were you with the songwriting process?
Very involved.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Amends dropped today. I just listened to it. It was amazing.
Number one on rock in iTunes.
Yes. Oh my god.
Number one record.
It's amazing. I just listened to it before we got on. I'm just like blown away by how he sounds, like what you guys did. I just want to ask what song did you play on?
In Time. And it's an awesome song. I played on a couple songs, but not all of them are on that album. They have a lot of music.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Sean asked, I believe that I was the first outside person Sean had asked to play on the album because both the guitar players aren't around anymore. And Sean had talked to me about it. And I think this is before the idea of getting all these rad people involved. And I don't think anyone ever even even thought of that, you know, for this album. And Sean was like, look, like, what do you think Chester would want? You know, the original guitar players aren't here anymore. Do you think he would want his best friend involved? And I go, good point. And so I went in and played on it, and it was super cool. It was super cathartic. To hear how good Chester has always been is a really incredible thing. And to be part of that is an incredible thing. And I can't be happier for Sean and for everyone involved that the record is doing this well. You know, to be number one, you know, immediately as of this morning is just, that's so cool.
That's
is
so cool. I didn't
and I'm
even
honored
know
to be a part of it.
Oh, I'm glad you did it. I didn't even know it was number one. I was like, wow.
Yeah. I just texted with Sean before I got on this call. And he was like, dude, the record's like number one on iTunes Rock, and it's number 2 on the main charts. And I'm like, dude, that's a big deal, man. I mean, you guys haven't even played it. I mean, they can't go play, you know, and you still, well, they maybe could, maybe if I sang, but you know, and it's a thought, but you know, it's pretty incredible that the music is out there and doing that well. You know, it's really great, and it's a testament and an honor for Chester. And I think that's fantastic. That's all Sean ever wanted, was to do what Chester wanted, you know?
Yes, sir. Yes, absolutely.
And my last conversation with Chester was about Dead by Sunrise and Grey Days.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Were you going to be on the reunion tour? Like, what was the conversation like with Grey Days?
No, we didn't talk about that. He just talked about how excited he was about doing Grey Days again with Sean. And how excited he was about doing New Dead by Sunrise with me. And he was also super excited about the new Linkin Park record. So it was one of those like little kid meetings where you just like are super excited. You're hugging each other. You tell each other that you miss each other. And as soon as these tours are done, we're going to start working together and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I know he was excited about this. It was the last words that I had with him were about Dead by Sunrise, Linkin Park, and Grey Days. So I think it's really, really rad to be sitting here now knowing that I'm on my way up to the mountains with my family and the record's number 1. It's like really, really cool.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations to you. Thank you so much for doing it. You know, I know you're in like bands, so it'll be difficult. It'll be difficult to do Green Days and other bands, you know? So thank you.
Yeah.
How did you meet Slaves to Humanity? That's how I got to talk to you. So
their manager Andy Hung came and brought them to see me perform at the Newport Beach Film Festival. I did a Billy Idol song, and you know, they're a bunch of like, you know, good looking, cool, hungry kids, but I hadn't really heard them before. And it turns out one of their dads is an old friend of mine, Ron, and I mean, an old friend of mine, like 20 years. And so we just started all of us started hovering around together, and then we were asked to come in and possibly work with them. And Amir and I were just like, oh, you know, what are 15-year-old kids going to be able to do? You're just like, okay, well, we'll go watch. And we went and watched them, and we were like, there's something here. You know, this guy can sing. These guys can totally play guitar. This drummer's like way too good for being a kid. And we were like, okay, let's see what we can do here. So we sat down in a songwriting session, and the first song that we did together became Battleground, and randomly became a #1 hit song on KLOS, which is a massive rock station here in LA, and it's a huge influencer for the country. So it really is going to be interesting to see what happens with this band, because now we have a good chunk of music done, and we're still working on music together, and they have been getting record label offers. So, you know, it turns out that, you know, Amir and I seem to have like a production company started, you know, and we're working with a lot of different acts right now. So it's pretty cool. Adema being one of them, which is my other band. So
that is so cool to hear. I interviewed them, so I just think it's so, because when I first heard their music, I was like, how long have they been around? It sounds like they've been around forever.
Yeah.
So it's just, they just have an amazing style. So I'm really glad you took up the opportunity with them. How involved are you with them? Like, what do you do with Slaves to Humanity?
We're really involved. We are the producers, you know, so far of everything that they've been doing that you kind of hear on the radio and everything. We're very involved. I actually, you know, teach the singer, Aiden. I give him vocal lessons. It might be something that I do a little bit more of. It's not something I ever wanted to open up, because I have to be careful how accessible I make myself,
Yeah.
because it can get crazy out of hand. But I was able to really work with him, and it was super gratifying for me to see him grow. And he's already so talented. He can already do. He's
Absolutely.
already so good, and to
Mhm.
see him just become that much better by me being able to tell him tricks that Chester taught me, tricks that Jonathan taught me, tricks that all the people that I've worked with taught me and helped me be the person that I am. And then in turn, the tricks that I've learned. And to be able to give that to someone young and see them grow and prosper with that makes me
Mhm.
really feel good. And so I thought about maybe that's going to be part of what we do as producers is not just, teach how to, handle the instrumentation, the songwriting, all that kind of stuff that you kind of have to do, but also how to sing and how to play and how to enhance the skills that you already have.
Right.
And that's just yet another level of stuff that we can do. And I think it's really, really, it's turned out to be something that's really fun and really cool. So we're that involved. I mean, we're really pretty involved, and we love those guys. We
Yeah.
love those kids. They're our kids, you know?
Right. That is awesome. Yeah, man. So what what would your message to the world be right now with everything going on?
Um, be kind to one another. Um, Tolerate each other's differing opinions. I've never seen a time in my life where you can't even say that you support, the good police officers out there, and you're also supportive of protesting, but you're against violence.
Yeah.
Um, I got torn apart on Instagram for just saying I support the peaceful protesters, and not the looting. It's a scary time when you can't be against violence, period.
Right.
Or so that doesn't bother me, because I'm in the public eye, so I can get torn up. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And I'm not someone who's scared to walk outside, so it's cool. But I know that there's other people getting torn up out there just for, like, having a differing opinion. And I think
Right.
that I would really love it if everyone, I don't care what side you're on, you know be tolerant of one another. So there's a lot of real hurt and anger out there, but I think every side of this coin really needs to bring it down a notch and be tolerant and loving of one another, because the majority of people in this country especially are not bad people.
Mm.
So let's keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So stop tearing each other up. It's just so
Right.
stupid.
Yeah. I understand what you're
Let
saying. I
people
don't know
have
if
an
you.
opinion. Let people have an opinion.
Right.
It's fine. Yes,
Cause
love does keep us kind.
there was you know who John Domayan is, the drummer for System of a Down, right?
Yeah, yeah. And he
He's
said
getting torn
something,
apart.
yeah, because he had an opinion, and it's just not, unfortunately, a lot of the people that are into the music and art world, they aren't going to be down with that opinion. And by
Yeah.
the way, I'm not endorsing or saying anything negative about his opinion, because he's allowed to have beliefs. The guy's
Absolutely.
not hurting anyone, but it's just ridiculous that you can't even support a candidate either way without getting shredded.
Yeah.
It's not okay with me. And I think that people should just be allowed to have their own opinion. It's okay.
Right.
Tolerate each other. Do you think that this is going to be like, how much more fascist can you get than to tear people apart
Mm.
for their political leaning? Who
Yeah.
cares? Let people have their opinion. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
I completely agree. I see it all the time. I'm on Twitter. It's just like a constant back and forth. And like
Yeah.
sometimes I
Yeah.
just have to leave social
Yeah.
media in general because I don't like seeing that. It just feels like
Mm-hmm.
it's just a lot of butting heads and no one is like willing to sit down and like see each other's sides. You know what I mean? It just feels like really one-sided and like no one will see each other's sides. So I completely agree with you on that sentiment that we just need to like respect
But
each other.
I think, yeah, I think that people need to realize you don't need to force everyone to see your side.
Right.
It doesn't matter. None of these people are coming with guns to your house. So stop it.
Right.
Just stop it. People are allowed to think what they're going to think. And you know what? Trying to force everyone to see things the way you want, or unfriending them or whatever, that doesn't do anything to help anyone understand each other. Nothing.
Yes. Yes,
So
sir.
allow people to have their own thoughts and feelings, because forcing everyone to, or thinking, because you can't do it. You can't force anyone to, to your will. That's fascism.
Yeah,
That's evil. So stop it. Stop being like that. That's what I
absolutely.
think.
Oh yeah, I completely agree with you. I have two more questions.
Sure.
This one. So are you still in Julian K to this right now?
We just put out an album called Harmonic Disruptor, and we have a tour in December, so I hope I am.
Awesome. So you're in two bands, Julian K and Adema, I said that right?
I'm in Julian K and Adema.
Adema. Okay. Awesome. Okay, I just want to get that out of the way. And then last one, what would be your advice to someone like me who's trying to play the guitar and is getting extremely frustrated because I'm about to throw this across the room. Like, I'm just getting frustrated. So, like, what would your advice be to people like me who want to try a new instrument?
It's the same advice for anything in life. If it was easy, it wouldn't be worth doing it. And if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. And if it was easy, there wouldn't be incredible songs out there that move your soul. You know, you have to work hard and be, what do you call it? You have to be tenacious, you know, so you do have to be tenacious about learning how to do anything that matters. Whether it's jujitsu or playing guitar or singing or writing or interviewing, whatever it is. But you also need to understand that it should be fun too. And you got to keep that kid, that childlike mentality that this guy has back here, where things are enjoyable, things are beautiful, things are special. So if it's getting to be a nightmare, put it down, listen to some music, get some inspiration, try to enjoy what you're doing. It shouldn't be like pulling your teeth out, but you have to stick with it. You know, just like a martial art, just like any life skill, you have to just keep going, be tenacious, be resilient, don't be defeated, have fun with it. And I mean, that's my advice for anything in life. Try to make it a game, try to have some fun, enjoy the little victories, try to find some simple songs that you can learn and play and enjoy playing it.
Okay. Awesome. Well,
got to keep the fire, man.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for that advice. I might go play my guitar after this.
Yeah.
So thank you.
I see so many friends and fans on here. Salva just joined. I see Chester B fan. I see Kathy Leffen. I have so many people that are on right now that I totally know of. Yeah, hey Salva in Germany. This guy is one of the most awesome tattoo artists I've ever seen in my life. And hey, let me one thing we like to do. We have some of the best fans and supporters in the world, and we promote their stuff. So this is my friend Sarah, who wrote this book called Stricken. I would really, really like it if everyone would get on Amazon and just leave a cool review. Just say something good about this book, because I know, oh yeah, TBM boy. Yeah, LP Soldier Forever. Yeah, nice. And I think that if everyone would get on there and please just review this book. It's really, really hard to write a whole book.
For real, look at that. Yeah.
It's really hard to record a record. It's really hard to write a song. So if we can get together and support the people that support our favorite bands and support one another, I think that's one step closer to the world that Chester would have wanted, where we actually love each other. And at least in our family, we support one another. I think that's an awesome, awesome way to be. And every time this world gets ugly, just think about what that awesome dude, Chester Bennington, would want. And just act like that. Right? So please get on there. If we can just get one or two more reviews, that would be amazing. And the page is going to be full of good reviews. So
absolutely.
And we appreciate all the support you guys have given us. Thank you all so much.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll continue to show my support. I'll definitely pick up that book.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Just this is a very memorable experience for me. I don't take your time for granted at all. Like this is.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for doing this. I mean, like I said, I've been wanting to talk to you since 2018. So this is
wow
for me. Yeah, ever since I heard Dead by Sunrise, I was like, this guy. And I saw our interview with you. I was like, this guy's got something going for him. So I just really wanted to talk to you. So thank you so much. And I know some fans in here wanted to say hi. So yeah, just thank you. And have a great time on your mountain trip. And
who's this little guy? Who's this little guy? It's my brother.
Hi. Oh wow, I didn't know there was
Yeah, oh yeah, we're in the Jeep. We're heading up to the mountains. This is Ever. Hey buddy. Hi. Everyone loves Ever because see all the hearts, because everyone has seen pictures of Ever. This is my brother. These are my two favorite people in the world. My brother's like the one in our family that's actually a good person. And then there's this guy we're still trying to figure out.
Aw. Well, that's all I have today. Ryan, thank you so much.
Thank
God
you so
bless
much.
you. I'm definitely going to keep in contact with you. Thank you for staying on. Guys, go support that Stricken book because I definitely am now. And I hope to talk to you again soon and have an amazing day.
Thank you so much. Everyone have a great Saturday. Love you guys. Thank you.
No
Take
problem.
care.
Thank you. All right, bye.